Want to know how to do a weekly home facial like a pro? I'm going to show you that here in this video today. So today I am in my bathroom and I know that it's not the best lighting and I was going to wear my mic, but I'm a little afraid of getting it wet. So if it's a little echoey, I'm kind of sorry about that. I want to show you how to do a home facial properly so that you can take care of your skin really well. And this is a weekly home facial, so this is something you do about once a week. I'm going to remove my makeup. Now there's different ways you can kind of remove your makeup. You can use makeup remover, facial wipes. I'm going to actually use a microfiber towel. This one I've used quite a bit, so it's not like the super softest, but it is basically like a washcloth. The thing about microfiber towels is it does work pretty well at getting rid of your makeup. The fibers of it work really well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently just kind of go across my skin, just very gently. Nothing hard, nothing rough. Okay. And I'm not putting too much pressure on. I'm just kind of gently wiping and going up. And you can kind of see, hopefully, yeah, you can see all that makeup right there. And just gently. I'm not pressing and doing it. I'm just kind of just letting it glide. You don't really see any, like, my skin really moving too much. Before I go to center, I'm also going to do my neck a little bit, and I'm going to move up just to help get rid of all that. A little on my neck here, or décolleté. We're just removing the majority of our makeup. I know a lot of these, when they were selling these, they were saying that they were a makeup remover and that you didn't have to wash your face, and that was far from true. This is just a makeup remover. It just helps get the majority of the makeup off because it does have an oil barrier to it. And frankly, when you have to wash your face, it just kind of meshes it all over the place, and I don't like it. So I like to get the majority of the makeup off first, and then we cleanse about 2 times. I still have some makeup, as you can see, but a lot of that will come off with my cleanser. We're going to now cleanse the skin. So one of my favorites, I did make a video on this already of what I like and why I like it, and I like to use this cleanser. It's a cream cleanser. It's good for pretty much all skin types. The only one I'd be a little concerned about is oily skin type, but someone with oily skin did tell me that they really did like this one. So you can use this, and that's what I like. We're going to use warm water. We're not going to use hot water. We're not going to use cold water. We want to use at least like a lukewarm. We don't want to be burning our face, but we want to cleanse our skin. Now, as an esthetician, I'd use sponges and help get rid of it. But since we're in our bathroom, this is really the best way to do it. So really, we just want to get our face wet, and then I'm going to put the cleanser in my hand. And we're going to gently, so I'm going to cleanse. You really want to. So the first one is going to basically get the rest of the makeup off. And then we're going to cleanse a second time just to be certain that we got all the makeup off. It's really what we're doing. When I do my neck, I go up. And then my décolleté here. I'm going to rinse this off, and then we're going to do one more cleanse. Okay, so once you're done, I want to dab off the water. So I'm going to take a nice clean towel and just dab my face. It's still moist. It's not completely like dry. It's just moist. I'm going to switch things up. I have combination skin type. I particularly have oily combination skin type. So as we know, water and oil do not mix. And one of my exfoliators, it has, it's more water based. It's an AHA, so it's not going to dissolve oil. So what I want to do is make sure that I exfoliate the skin well, and it's able to penetrate where the oil won't be so much in the way. So since I do create a fairly good oil barrier right here, I'm going to do something that normally is kind of at a step, but I have a reason for it. Now, if you have oily skin type, I want you to do this step too. Combination skin type, I want you to do this too, particularly if you have oily combination skin type. If you have normal skin or dry skin type, this is not a step you would take. This is, you just completely skip this step. So the mud mask that I like to use is this one right now. It doesn't dry, and I only need to keep it on there for 5 minutes. So for me, because I have combination skin type, I'm actually going to put it in my T-zone. Because this is the only skin type that has a T-zone. I'm rubbing it because that's getting it to kind of warm up. So I'm going to leave it on for 5 minutes. Okay, so now that it has been on my skin for 5 minutes, I'm going to gently wipe it off. I'm going to start with my forehead. Get the majority of it off. So just to kind of freshen up my skin just a little bit and to kind of get it a little bit damp, I'm going to use my facial steamer. Get my skin prepped and ready for the next step, because the next step is going to be a very important step. Now, if you have rosacea or porous skin, skin that's easily flushes very easily, you will not be using a steamer because it just, it's going to aggravate the skin. What I'm going to use is a professional line, a professional exfoliator that you will not be able to get basically at stores or anything. For instance, I'm using this one. This is a professional line. It is a lactic green tea peel. So it has lactic acid in order to help give me an exfoliation, and green tea to kind of help hydrate and just be a little bit more calming. You're not going to actually peel. It's just called a peel because it's going to basically reduce the very first few layers of the skin evenly. And I just put it in a bowl and I use a brush to just brush it on my skin. Ooh, you don't want it dripping. And I leave this on for about, I think it's like 3 minutes. You don't need to leave it on for very long. Scrubs, I do not like scrubs. I'm not a scrub girl. The problem with scrubs is they don't evenly scrub because all they're doing is just scrubbing off whatever the skin is ready to come off. This one I'm kind of going just a little bit more than what is ready to come off. It's like, we're going a little bit more. You're not, so you might, if you ever use anything like this, you might get a little bit flaky. I do also get my décolleté a bit. In order for exfoliators to work, they have to be below the skin's pH. Since I am using a professional exfoliator, you can always use something. I do have this. I did a review on this. This is actually a really good one. You can always use something also as the Hawaiian, kind of like what I used from the mud mask. It's the Hawaiian papaya enzyme mask. Now that this has been on my skin for 3 minutes, I'm going to gently wipe it off. I'm going to use a warm rag. Now, in my office, I would actually be using steamed towels to wipe this off for you, but I just was not able to bring out my steamer and I just didn't want to deal with all the towels at the time. So I'm just going to use water. You can get like a home steamer if you like for towels, but again, this is also a home thing, and if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can just use warm water and another microfiber towel. So what we're doing is we're getting the majority of this off right now. I'm going to now actually cleanse my skin to just make sure we get rid of all the exfoliator. We don't want the exfoliator still left on our skin. We want that off. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to use a toner. A lot of times you'll hear that toners balance the pH of the skin, and that is true. That's another reason why we want to use that right after an exfoliator, because since we brought down the pH balance at a much lower rate, we want to bring it back up to the healthy rate. The other thing too is it's going to help take off any of the soap residue. The one I'm using is this right now. The next step I'm going to do is we're going to do the facial mask. Now this is where you're going to start feeding your skin. This is the feeding stage. We just cleaned our skin. We took off the makeup, we cleansed our skin, we exfoliated our skin, and then we toned our skin. That's all like a cleaning unit. We cleaned the skin really, really well. Now we're going to start feeding the skin. And since I got rid of the majority of the oil here for the moment, the mask I'm going to use is going to be better absorbed into the skin since it is also water-based. Now, the one I'm using, let's see if I can get it up here. The one I'm using is a face sheet, a sheet mask that came with my Medicube, the machine for the body AJAR machine thing. I'm still in the process of using that. I just haven't really been able to do any videos since my schedule's been all messed up. So I thought I'd use this one, and so it is a deep peptide radiance mask. And yes, it's for all skin types because it's going to also hydrate our skin. Very creamy, which is great. Place it on. There we go. And like I said, I like to use the steamer. I'm going to put some of it on my neck a bit and down my décolleté if possible. It's a nice feel. Doesn't have any fragrance. They might say that there's fragrance in it, but I don't smell anything really. So, yeah. But it feels nice. It feels really nice. Just kind of make sure it's all on. And around the eyes. Okay, so I'm going to leave this mask on for 10 minutes. I'm going to use the steamer while I'm at it so that it keeps this warm and it keeps my skin ready to keep absorbing in the product so that it doesn't get cold and tense up and just keep it from going in. So we're going to do that. Okay, so now that it has been on for 10 minutes, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to show you. So I guess this could be kind of a bit of a review too. So this is kind of, make sure I get my hair. It's just kind of nice. There we go. There's still a lot on here. You can actually use it to kind of just massage it a little bit into the skin. I mean, there's so much, look. There's a lot in there. Now, they said you don't have to, you can gently rub it into the skin, but there's so much. I might just have to kind of take some off because it's kind of extreme. It's a lot, actually. Like I showed you, all that came out, which is a good sign. It means I got a lot in. So, the mask is the first part that you'll use to kind of help feed your skin. So that had a lot of peptides and everything in it for more like anti-aging effects, and it was kind of like a creaminess, so it kind of conditioned the skin, but it also hydrated the skin. That's what I like about those. Now the next thing you'll do is you're going to use a serum. I've been just using a few different things. Right now I'm just using a CeraVe. I'm not using it for the acne, I'm just using it for the vitamin A. I would like to get better stuff though, but for the time I just thought I'd try it. So good amount on my skin, on my hand, rub it. And then I like to kind of pat it in a bit. I go around my eyes, go my neck, and right there. And I just kind of gently do it. So now that we've totally fed our skin, we've cleaned it, we've fed our skin, now we got to protect our skin. And what we want to do is lock in what we just put onto our skin. So I'm going to use a moisturizer, because I'm trying to get rid of some of my sun damage, so using more brightening and lightening is great. So, and I use a little spoon here, you try not to touch it, just to grab what you need. Just gently massage it. I don't have an eye cream, I haven't been using one for a while, so I would actually put that on before I put my moisturizer on normally. But I'm just kind of needing to get some newer and other things lately. Now, since this is a night routine, I'm going to be using a skin oil or face oil or however you want to call it. I'm almost out, you can tell, but this is the one I'm using. And I'm using this because, again, remember, oil and water do not mix. And if you've seen one of my recent videos on does oil help lock moisture in the skin, that will be very helpful for you to understand. So this is going to kind of help lock it in even more. I believe every skin type should be using a face oil. Definitely dry skin type people. People with oily skin have been told if they've said if they use the right oils, it helps reduce the natural oils in their skin from producing too much. But a lot of that too is from not having enough hydration in their skin, enough moisture, water. So let's kind of get down here again, make sure you get it there. So that is how you do a facial. We are done with our facial. And that is how you're going to take care of your skin. How this is a weekly thing that you can do to help really feed your skin, nourish your skin, clean it very well with the exfoliator, feed it really well with the skin mask, the facial mask or something. And then just protect your skin with moisturizer, a face oil, and an SPF. If it is a day routine. If it's a day routine, the next step, I wouldn't use this during my day routine. Some people will want to, like definitely dry skin type will want to use a face oil. Maybe oily people, like I said, I'm not really sure. It depends on how that works for you. But then for me, I wouldn't use this in the day. This is my night routine. Instead, I would replace this with an SPF. I like to use 100. Just because there's a lot of sun here in this state. So anyways, I hope you learned how to do a professional facial at home. These are the right proper order. During your regular maintenance days and nights, you would just not do a mask or an exfoliator. You would just do the rest of the stuff. So thanks so much again for joining me here at Contour Image. And just remember to stay beautiful for life.